Igor Shesterkin is the New York Rangers, and Team Shesterkin was on fire against the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight, wasn't he? Voice of public opinion? Igor Shesterkin is not our whole team. We have more than Shesterkin. Yeah, like you do, but it's mostly Shesterkin. We're going to tell you how tonight. Let's cover the Penguins and the Rangers. Big W for the Rangers. 1-1 series tie. Let's go ahead. We'll get after it. Hey, look, whether or not you're a Penguins fan or a Rangers fan, if you're a hockey fan and you enjoy one of those two teams and this channel, why don't you come in and join our Discord? The link is down below. I'd love to talk to you. We have great content creators that cover the NHL on that Discord. It's growing like gangbusters. We love chatting it up during the playoff game. So we'd love to go ahead, meet you. Of course, it's free. It's just Discord, so you know what to do. Smash the invite below. Okay, so what ended up happening in this game? What ended up happening in this game is pretty simple. I think Pittsburgh outplayed the heck out of the New York Rangers, but the New York Rangers rely on solid team defense and Igor Shesterkin. So I'm just being a little bit cute, funny, cheeky when I say it's Team Shesterkin. The Rangers boast one of the best team defenses in the league, but Shesterkin really was on fire, wasn't he? The Rangers couldn't do what the Rangers could do without Shesterkin. Their backup is excellent, but it's not the same. Like what you can do with Igor Shesterkin in the net is very similar to what the Montreal Canadiens could do last year with Carey Price in net. When you have one of these incredibly elite goalies, it allows you to push the pace. It allows you to take chances that you wouldn't be able to normally take without a goalie like that. And it really does give you a massive advantage going into games. So Shesterkin did quite well. Pittsburgh peppered him with shots. I mean, even though this game was 5-2, let's be honest, Pittsburgh did everything they could to beat Igor and that team defense in the New York Rangers, but they couldn't get it done. Pittsburgh did do the job, though. They needed to go into Madison Square Garden and split the series. That's exactly what Pittsburgh did. And it's unfortunate for Pittsburgh because whether you're Pittsburgh or Carolina, if you're a fan of that team, when you're down to your third string goalie, it really does feel like a dagger. And Domingue was, good. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he was bad. I mean, this is a third string goalie. The New York Rangers have a great top six. They ended up scoring. One of them was bad luck off a skate. It's kind of the way it goes. So it's unfortunate they don't get to battle in what many are calling Pittsburgh's last hurrah. Now, it may not be. I mean, this is just a media soundbite, right? But I know some of the players said, maybe it could be, but you never know what the veterans are going to talk about in the offseason. But, it kind of sucks if you're a Penguins fan and you're feeling like, well, we're done. But it's wonderful if you're a Rangers fan because the Penguins are arch rivals and you just get to go, bye-bye. Doesn't matter how you win. You just got to win. Before we break down the game stats and goals, that's what we do here, team. So stick with us to the end of the video. We're going to give you great analysis, Ranger fans, on how you scored the goals that you scored. Penguins fans will break down your team defense. That is wash, rinse, repeat, what we do in the playoffs. So before we get into more of the analytical hockey stuff, let's go ahead and talk about the Jeff Carter hit on Igor Shesterkin. As you can hear in the tone of my voice, I love talking about these situations in hockey. And the reason is it doesn't matter whether it's Raanta getting hit, a goalie getting run, an injury here, an injury there, a no call, a call. Hockey's a tough game, guys. It's a violent game. It's a cheap game. When you look at stuff like this, there's two sides to both stories. And Penguins fans, you comment down below. Let me know if I got it right and if you agree or if you don't. Ranger fans, you let me know if I got it right and let me know. When I watch this play, Shesterkin plays the puck and he steps out. A player also has his right to his lane in order to play the puck. So Jeff Carter, there's a theory, let's call it. He has his right to his lane. He's trying to, seal in Adam Fox. He takes a shortcut. Shesterkin comes around and they clip each other. So on one hand, you could see this as totally incidental. A penalty is going to get called. But on another hand, you got to protect goalies. And in the playoffs, was it incidental? I mean, I do understand when people feel that way. Like, was it really? Did you really try hard to get out of the way? Because at the end of the day, Shesterkin was shaken up on the play. So it can definitely go both ways. And the only person that's going to know it is Carter. You have to make your own interpretation of what you think he did. My interpretation of it was this. I don't think it was malicious. But also Jeff Carter's a pretty tough guy and hockey's kind of a chintzy sport at times. So I'm not going to tell you Jeff Carter is chintzy, but I mean, I've seen McDavid take runs at guys, Crosby, Kucherov, all the stars do it. So when people go travesty of the game, don't hit the goalie, blah, 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 blah. This is a violent game. It's a greasy game and players look for ways to get advantages. So I don't think it was that, but if you believe it was, I actually can't tell you you're wrong. So it's the way it goes. It's hockey. And, there is some theory when you talk about the code or whatever you want to talk about. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could just go ahead and run Shesterkin a few times with some fourth line players and they'd be down to their backup too. And well, what's the worst that's going to happen? A fine and suspension for that player? But they don't do that because that's against the code. But he had an opportunity to take it. He took it. Should goalies be hit though? No. Very simply, when people say goalies play the puck, they should be free game. Absolutely not. Goalie equipment is not designed to take hits. It's not designed to protect from anything but taking pucks. And that's a totally different technology than what players are wearing that designs them for taking impact, reducing concussions, reducing broken bones and dislocated pieces. So even though you may think a goalie is a walking tank, that is not true when it comes to taking body contact. Okay, so you can't hit a goalie. That's my feeling of it. I think it was incidental. I can fully get behind you if you're a Rangers fan and you think he greased them and ran them. Sure, I'm still going to stick with incidental. I'm not going to change my mind, but I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. And no, you shouldn't hit goalies for any reason. So, and goalies should be allowed to play the puck. It's an important part of the game. I don't like the trapezoid. I think they should play it wherever they want. Okay, that's the opinion piece. Let's go back to game coverage. When I say the Penguins played the better game than the Rangers did, I always like to come over here to Natural Stat Trick. You're getting used to this now if you've been on the channel. It really validates my opinion, make sure I got it right. You know, it helps you with the eye test. It doesn't tell you everything you need to know. Like, it's not a stat sheet game. But when you move over here, you can see that Pittsburgh controlled most of the Corsi, which actually means they directed more shots towards the Rangers net than less. The shots favored them. That's a big deal. Fenwick's a fancy way to say Corsi with an yeah, but, so we won't get into it. The scoring chances favored Pittsburgh, but here's the big thing. This is why I said this was a Shesterkin game. Look at these high danger chances. High danger chances are reduced if it's a team game. So 18 high danger chances versus 5. That's crazy. Expected goals 3.2 versus 1.86. If you're a Penguins fan or like me watching the game who is a neutral fan to both teams, you take a look at this and you go, all right, to me, my eye test tells me this. The advanced stats back it up. Domingue did his best, but he's the third string goalie. Shesterkin absolutely stood on his head and robbed 18 high danger chances. The Penguins threw everything they could at the Rangers, but the Rangers ended up surviving. It's all in how you play the game and how you win. You're not always going to win in pure dominance. So the New York Rangers know they win with great team defense. They know they win with a great power play. They know they win with a top 6. They don't have a ton of depth. Ranger fans, you either been with us long enough that you agree with me, or you still comment down below and you disagree. Either way is fine. I think you have a great top 6. I don't like the back end. Now, Shesterkin stands on his head. We've split the series. What happens in game 3? Likely the Rangers take it unless Desmith or Jarry can show back up. I don't know if Pittsburgh's going to be able to do this with a third string goalie, and I don't know where they're going to get another goalie. So after seeing this game, it's only a 1-game sample. I don't know if they can pull it off because they threw everything in the kitchen sink at the New York Rangers. It didn't pay off. And what are you going to do? Score 6, score 7 against Shesterkin? It's not going to work out well. So this could end up being a 5-game series for the Rangers unless a goalie can come back for the Penguins. But let's hold off and see what happens when they swing back to Pittsburgh with that home crowd. Taking a look at the shot map here, you can see where all those high danger chances were coming from. I mean, this is grouped right in the slot. This is right down Green Street. This is not a lot of shots that are on the outside. You can see these are high quality chances. That's why 18 of them were considered dangerous. Shesterkin absolutely stood on his head. So that validates those high danger chances that we saw over at Natural Stat Trick. We move over to the Rangers. The Rangers were no slouches either, though. They got some dangerous chances there. And this is the tough thing. They scored all 4 shots from the low slot, which is one of the most, if not the most dangerous place to shoot in hockey. So they obviously capitalized on everything in front of the net. 5 goals from the slot, 4 goals from the low slot, and a whole bunch of dangerous chances from the high slot or left circle. Pittsburgh may have had more high danger chances, but the shots do end up 41-40. So if you're a believer in just shots as opposed to high danger chances and breaking down the types of shots, you may be able to say that New York played a little bit better of a game than I'm giving them credit for offensively. Yes, they scored 5 goals, but I do think this game severely changes with Tristin, Jarry, or Desmith in net. But I'm not going to commit to the fact that the Penguins would have won with that, because at the end of the day, the team defense, Shesterkin, stands on his head. Andrew Copp, Potts goal 1, the former Winnipeg Jet, my favorite team, ends up paying off again for the Rangers. The first thing that you see here is that you're playing 5-on-5, but this goal absolutely felt like a Rangers power play. The skill of the second line of the Rangers was fully on display here, and I got to give Pittsburgh a big C+, possibly a D for this defensive zone shift, because when you're playing 5-on-5, why do you have so many guys guys that are backing in. Like, you're just allowing the Rangers to attack you at the line. So the Rangers get to bump it out over here. There's a little bit of a puck fumble, but a beautiful hand-foot coordination, a little bit of football action there. Now, when it comes to defensive zone tactics, we always talk about the fact that if you can see their eyes or you can see their chest, you don't pressure, you actually contain. The Pittsburgh player should be backing off here and going into contain mode. He obviously doesn't do that. He gets aggressive, he runs them, and this is why we talk about contain. It doesn't matter that he got the hit. We don't live in old school world where laying the bot on this is the way to go. All you saw there was that quick little nifty move, and the puck moves to open space. It's all about moving the puck to open space. So now you lose your puck support if you're Pittsburgh. The puck ends up going nice down low there to the Rangers, and you're in a spot where the Rangers still have control of it, and you're out of position. If you were to go back and contain, you would have had a player that would have been creating a 2-on-1 here, but he doesn't. Now we're into a 1-on-1 scenario, and that always favors the offense. Favors the offense for the exact same reason. Pittsburgh almost goes to pressure there again, but you can see that nifty little move. If you can see eyes, don't pressure him. Pittsburgh pressures him. He's able to get open, and by getting open, he's able to cycle it up. Now you have 3 Pittsburgh Penguins caught on the right side of the ice. As New York has control of the puck near the top, they're going to start widening the zone, looking for trouble here, and this happens because of 2 over-aggressive 1-on-1 plays. You move that puck down low. This is the part where we talk about widening. So up to the top, all the way down. This is widening the zone. You're using the entire length of the ice. Again, heavily favors the offense. The defense want to cut you off into one corner of the rink by outnumbering you. And this is where team structure breaks down. You can see the fact that Andrew Copp came up here with a little bit of a J-hook. It allows him behind Crosby, who is a very intelligent player, but Copp sneaks behind him. And you can see now that 4 Pittsburgh Penguins, technically 5, they're all caught puck watching. And this is what happens. This is how you break systems down when you go wide and you are able to play wide zone coverage like this. This is why you've got to wait for help. We call it puck support. Watch Mr. Copp sneak in there. You saw the little shoulder check by Crosby, so Crosby knows he's there. We go ahead and we put 2 Pittsburgh Penguins on the front of the net because this is the dangerous situation. But Sid the Kid's got to look back, get a stick on it. 17's got to get in there, get a stick in that passing lane, but he doesn't. His stick's in the wrong position at this point. It's outside. It's not doing much. Puck goes coast to coast across the road. We've seen Andrew Copp score a goal in this exact position. He's doing his best Brett Hull impersonation. That's 2 goals in the series like old Brett Hull. Left knee down, one-timer, clap bomb. There is no chance for Domingue. I mean, he is never going to make that post-to-post push. It is way too easy. And now you can see Pittsburgh, too little, too late, have sticks in the lane. So what we learned there, Hot Garbage sports fans, you need to contain. It's contain versus pressure. When you're 1-on-1 in the D zone, you see chest, you see the eyes, you contain. When you see a back, when you see a fumble, you pressure, and you have to make sure that you have your puck supporting defender to come take that puck when you do get aggressive. So Pittsburgh doesn't do those 2 things. New York is able to widen the zone. This is all the game of hockey is a battle of mistakes and exploiting those mistakes. So defensively, if teams played perfect defensive structure, you'd never get a goal. It always favors the defense. But the offense is able to get creative, get cute, because people just get out of position. It's the way they go, right? You get puck watching. So even the best in the world in Sidney Crosby got caught puck watching there. The Pittsburgh Penguins go down 1-0 early, and I'm not going to put that on the goalie. I'm putting that on the team D. Pittsburgh Penguins early in the game, unfortunately, had a slow start. I mean, only 3 shots in the first 9 minutes. Played off a lot like last game, but the best in the world, Sidney Crosby, shows why he can do what he can do at all ends of the ice. And in the neutral zone, what you end up seeing is as New York is carrying the puck up here, take a look at Crosby. Crosby's over here. He's one of the best ever to be able to read and react to plays. The Pittsburgh defender here is doing the right thing. I mean, the gap is a little bit long, but he's able to step up, and what he's looking to do is he's looking to filter them into the middle of the ice and look for his defending puck support, which is Sidney Crosby, to help him out to create a 2-on-1 situation. And it perfectly occurs here in the neutral zone. Couple more frames forward. As you can see, this is too soon to make this pass. I mean, I know the game's at high speed, but this is too much gap between Crosby and the Rangers to go ahead and try to force the puck at this point. You don't want to have to make the pass until that gap closes just a little bit more. It would have been a little safer to dump the puck in here, but Crosby obviously reads the eyes, and you can see he's in a perfect position here to be able to intercept the puck. Hand-eye coordination on full effect there for Sid the Kid. Ranger fans, Penguin fans have seen this for his entire career. We call this now the Speedy speedy transition game. It's not about how fast you are, it's how fast you can get up and down the ice as a unit. So you can see here as Crosby's carrying in, we call this a delay or buying ice. He's waiting for help. You can notice this is a 2-on-2 situation. You never want to attack 2-on-2 when you're the offensive team. You got to wait for help. You got to wait for assistance. So Crosby's going to cause a problem here for the defender by creating a lot of gap. And notice what Crosby does here that the Rangers didn't do on this play. Crosby actually waits until he receives contact or gets hit before he moves the puck. That's how you get space in the NHL. So there you go. Look, that space is taken away. Then he moves the puck through the Rangers' legs. This isn't an accident. He did this on purpose. Takes the hit, takes the pain, and the puck ends up in a good spot. We call that an area pass. Pittsburgh's able to pick this up, and we know they're going to transition this to a goal on Shesterkin. Second Ranger goal comes on the power play. They get way too easy of a zone entry. Look, you have two Pittsburgh Penguins who are already in the zone, and you have a bad lineup here of Pittsburgh Penguins on the outside. This is way too easy for them to bump the puck down to the wide side, and then you end up having a whole bunch of Rangers check out of the zone, so they're onside and they enter in with speed. This is a free zone entry for the Rangers. You never want free zone entry when you're killing. New York ends up throwing it cross ice again, calling it widening the zone, and they're looking to set up their 1-3-1, right? So you have one at the top, you're going to have 2, 3, 4 in the middle, and you're going to have one down below. So you're going to see the Rangers end up bumping down here to create what we call a 1-3-1 power play. Rangers exploit the holes perfectly. I mean, Pittsburgh is sitting here in a box. We don't call it the box anymore. We call this the T intersection. So this is exactly where you always want to have one man, regardless of where the puck is, on the penalty kill, unless the puck is directly in front of your net. The New York Rangers are able to exploit the hole over here into the middle, and this is good job by the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'll be honest, when you have two players here, you've created a 2-on-1 in the corner. You got to love that. That's two Penguins versus one Ranger. This is a good chance for a takeaway, but the Rangers are actually able to put it through the sticks and the holes. So there's nothing wrong the Pittsburgh Penguins did here. This is an aggressive tactic on a penalty kill. It's what you should be doing. And you know what? If they can bump it through, congrats, they win. And that's exactly what happens here. That's why it's an advantage to be on the power play. As that puck bumps through, you'll see the Penguins close that gap super quick. That's why you always want to have a guy over here in the T intersection. But again, a little bit of bad luck here. So you had a 2-on-1 turn into a 1-on-1. You had two great chances to turn the puck over, but you can see the puck sitting right here, and it's going to bump right back out to the point, giving the Rangers an opportune time to set and get a chance. As that puck goes out to the top, you'll see the Penguins take a knee here, the cluster in front of Domingue. And at the end of the day, this is just a shot that's screened. There's nothing the goalie is going to be able to do about this. You let it go. What a beautiful little nifty move here. I adored it. Pittsburgh ends up biting, like, you're out of the play, you're done, you're probably out of the play, you're done, like, you're just trapped at this point. And Pittsburgh didn't do anything wrong on this. They have done everything you can do on the kill. Pittsburgh even closes that gap beautifully, but we all know about the bread man, don't we? The bread man uses his speed, his skill. Now you can perfectly see that 1-3-1, right? You see the three Rangers lined up across the middle of the ice, across the dots, the one in front of the net. So they're able to reset again. The bread man gets it up to the top. This is a less than ideal shot. They never should have bumped it over to Breadman. You should have just taken that shot when Pittsburgh was down, but at this point you move it to the top. It's going to go through a bunch of screens. It filters. There is no chance for Pittsburgh on this one. And Pittsburgh has a wonderful penalty kill. We talk about it all the time, number 3 in the NHL. So that was a great clip to really walk through. The Pittsburgh Penguins played a perfect penalty kill. The New York Rangers have an amazing power play. That was just on display there as well too. Both teams did everything right. It just happens to be that everything went right for the Rangers on that power play. You're looking to force turnovers on the penalty kill, and Pittsburgh gave themselves every opportunity to get a turnover. The puck just got through. So there really isn't anything more you can ask from the Pittsburgh Penguins kill there at that point. They have tactically done everything they can correctly and strategically. But when you're down a man, the power play should more often than not win. It's just a really tough game in hockey. So can't complain on either side. That ends up making it 2-1. Goal number 3 is heavily controversial. Was it high stick? Wasn't it? Obviously, it's not called high stick because the goal ends up standing. The goal itself, we're not really going to break down. It's just classic Kris Kreider tipping it in. 17 tip-ins during the regular season. Mr. 50 goal man. That's what Kreider does. But you can see here, look at the direction of the stick. It's up there. It's high. Is this a high stick? Is it not? Pittsburgh thinks it is. Obviously, it doesn't get called a high stick because the goal stands. You can see here from Kreider as that puck goes through what makes him so good. I mean, Domingue had that. Kreider puts it up top shelf with an absolutely beautiful deflection. I don't have a better angle of the high stick to show you on. You saw a better angle on your cable box, or your streaming network, or your NHL Center Ice, or your stolen torrent, whatever you did with it. But when you come to this channel, I really can't give you any expert advice on calls or no calls. I'm going to be honest. I'm with all hockey fans. I've been around the game forever. I'm a high performance certified hockey coach. I've written books on it. I understand this game as well as anybody does, even up into the NHL level. And frankly, I don't know how the rules are enforced most of the time. I have a general idea like all you fans do. I have seen so many examples in the NHL where a high stick is not called a high stick, where something I don't think is a high stick isn't called a high stick, goalie interference, not goalie interference. I'll be honest, most of the time in the NHL, I'm just as confused. It's just the way it goes. We're not confused by the clear calls. Like when the call, we all agree, we're like, yeah, okay, that's easy. But this is one of those like, that looked pretty high to me. But what do I know? I mean, they have slow motion replay, but even with that, bees? That's the best answer I can give you, and it makes no sense, just like NHL rule enforcement. So unfortunately, you know, I see a lot of fans talk about this. You know, the fix is in. They want this team to win. Americans think it's fixed for Canadians. Canadians haven't won a cup in a bajillion years, so we think it's fixed for Americans. They think the big markets need to go. Refs are paid off. Get the tinfoil hat off. It's a ridiculous game when it comes to refereeing. It always has been. It's just hockey, man. Like, it's what makes it exciting, I guess. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, because there is no other option. This is just hockey, and I don't see them changing it anytime soon. So I'm a neutral fan. Unfortunately, if you're a Penguins fan, you're going to be fired up. If this happened to the Jets, I'd be swearing at my TV and throwing king cans at it as well, too. But since it's not my team, I can sit here 30,000 feet away and just say, hey, look, it happens. It's the game. The refs stink all the time. I don't think there's any conspiracies in there, but we've all been fired up. We've all been there, right? Okay, so the series is split. You have my analysis on the game. I'm not going to go through every other goal because that was the GWG, the game-winning goal. We've talked about all the big parts. Ranger fans, Penguin fans, thank you so much for being here.